Institutions just loaded $3.7 billion in puts. That's the 6th percentile, meaning this level of bearish positioning only happens 6% of the time, historically. Here's what they see coming for Wednesday. Tuesday was all about Iran. Airstrikes sent crude surging above $92 overnight, dragging equities lower. ES dropped to 6,600. SPX closed at 65.56, down 0.37%. VX jumped to 26.94. But here's the twist. Late Tuesday, Israeli media reported ceasefire discussions covering 15 separate points. A formal U.S. peace plan was sent to Iran, and high-level U.S.-Iran talks could begin as soon as Thursday. Crude pulled back sharply from 92 to 88.89. That $90 crude level is the key. Above 90, equities stay under pressure. Below 90, the risk on trade opens back up. Wednesday's EIA crude oil inventories at 10:30 a.m. will be the catalyst. Now, let's talk about the flow. The 5 largest institutional trades on Tuesday were all puts. Tesla, $116 million put. Tesla again, $97 million. Microsoft, $63 million. Palantir, $61 million. Microsoft again, $61 million. Nothing but downside protection. SPY Delta hit negative $3.7 billion at the 6th percentile. VIX. May 37 calls traded 94,000 contracts, and VIX June 120 calls traded 21,000 contracts. That's not hedging for a normal pullback, that's hedging for a tail risk event. The gamma stability reading sits at just 1%. 1%. That signals a high probability of a significant directional move. The spring is coiled as tight as it gets. Negative gamma notional is at negative 876 million. Dealers are on the wrong side, meaning any directional move gets amplified by their hedging flows. Let's map out the levels for Wednesday. Expected range, ES 65.45 to 6,700, wider than usual because of the negative gamma and compressed stability. On the resistance side, 66.46 to 66.56 is Tuesday's high and the 38.2% retrace. 66.70 to 66.85 is the R1 pivot and institutional call spread zone. 6700 to 6711 is the vol trigger and 50% retrace. A big deal because reclaiming this shifts the dealer hedging dynamic. 6743 to 6750 is the zero gamma convergence and the 20-day moving average. Above 6800, you're into the major gamma strike and prior weekly high. On the support side, 6615 to 6620 is VWAP, and the point of control from Tuesday, 6600 to 6605 is the combo strike and value area, low. 6573 to 6580 is the prior day low and Tuesday's overnight low. 6551 is the put wall, where dealers have heavy protection. Below 64.76, you're looking at the S3 pivot and the 1-month low. Wednesday events to watch. UK CPI at 3 a.m., not a direct driver, but sets the tone for global rates. US import prices at 8:30 a.m. The big one, EIA crude oil inventories at 10:30 a.m., expected draw of 2.15 million barrels. If it comes in as a surprise build, crude drops and equities rally. A bigger draw supports crude and keeps pressure on stocks. Then, the U.S. 5-year note auction at 1 p.m. Here's the most likely path. Expect a gap up near 66.60 to 66.70 on ceasefire optimism. Initial selling towards 66.40 to 66.45 in the first 15 to 30 minutes as the opening range settles. If price holds above 66.46, buyers step in and target the vol trigger at 67.11. The flip scenario, if Iran headlines deteriorate overnight or crude pushes back above 90, expect a gap down retest of 65.73 to 65.80. Break below, there opens up the put wall at 65.51. For educational purposes only, not financial advice.